We're
Okay. So I was just kind of explaining the roadmap with Mike and everything, right? It's like 9 months is what it took to learn the sorcery mechanics with me, like to get to get the structure to where it's like workable and you trust in the stuff and do the thing, right? And then we did a challenge, right? And now that was something that took me months to learn with Pedro. Like it took me a year and a half to learn that framework, right? And if we can compress that time and get him to learn that structure from Pedro or from these methods and include him in those projects, right? Then what we've got is as Russell teaches how to build the funnel this week, we're about to start it, right? He's demonstrating the step of the academy to where I can't or don't know it, I'm finding the person that's doing it next that matches right up to what I'm doing and including their step as a step in my process. And so that as Russell is done with his challenge this next weekend, there's a whole bunch of events going on. There's three huge events in the industry. One is the 100X up there in Burbank. One is that one over there in Phoenix with the Great American Speak Off interviews. Like, I would love to go to both, guys. Your timing sucks,
good.
right? That's also my 1 year anniversary with my partner that I've been doing the whole like online thing with, right? Synchronicity, it all lines up. Like, that's a really great day. What am I going to do? Am I going to go to business events or am I going to go spend time with my partner? I want to do my man. Like, I love you guys, but that's an anniversary day, right? Until I get him to one of those events, and then we can bilocate at both of them, right? Like I need to be able to get him in a Zoom to watch the two of those things so I can participate with him like that whole day. But I don't want to, I want it to be a special event. Like he would need to be there too. And it's not there yet. Like I don't have my Suzette. I don't have what Sandy would be to Mike because of all the hours that she spent in the background, right? We're working on it. It's a developmental thing. But this whole thing is a step. This whole thing is a process. It doesn't just end with the challenge that you might have felt flopped, right? If you structure it, if you do it and you build it the right way, it becomes a stepping stone where you take others on your journey with you, right? You take one approach this way, you include another approach, you include another approach, and another, and another, and another, and you build the ladder accordingly. How do they fit into the ladder? Falls into the need of most urgency, right? Mike's got a bunch of shit this week with his court case. His life is falling apart. The same kind of way my life fell apart when I fell into the challenge community. And it's like, okay, thank God for Pedro. Because of that and the replays and the access and the Era project and all of those things, those videos and like my responses to them or what I was trying to do in the interim have those stages in between. They have those steps in that journey over the last 3 years. So that shit, if you've got time, you go through it. If you can't find it, it's gone. It doesn't exist anymore. Boom, it's done. Right? You missed the boat. That's okay. And how to build the boat. Build the boat. Be your own Noah. Right? Unfuck your own shit. How do you do that? How are you going to do that? What are you going to do next? What's going to be your next step? Like this is Mike's next step is because he's going to get access to that program. So he's going to just have to go deal with his bullshit on Thursday. He can catch the replay, right? And then he'll have 30 days free of that software where he can put all the stuff for Sprad. He can start putting these videos where we're talking about the different pieces in a way if he wants to structure the sorcery talks. But like those seals of the time thing that we were talking about, right? We can structure those in a different kind of way so that it's like, okay, well, here's the seal of time conversation here. And then in the afternoon, we're still talking about it. And then we're incorporating the business conversation, right? And then there's that kind of sense of urgency of like, holy shit, this is actually a business. Holy shit, there's actually a client journey. There's actually a pathway that goes from this guy into this guy, into this guy, into this guy, right? And it's the masculine type, right? This is the guys that have done it. Doesn't mean there aren't women who have done it. It's just in the beginning, I started with talking to guys because I was emotionally damaged husk of a guy. I had to go like re-insole myself. You know, like that's a whole process. Talk about your shadow work, shit back out of you, like, and then you have to recall your demons back to you too, right? You got to take out what is the dark corrosive aspect, and then you have to start inviting back in those elements of your personality, because parts of you that are depressed and sad and burdened by shame, fear, chaos of the world around you, those are freed when you are in your state of passion, when you are in your moment of peace and prosperity, when you're doing your thing, right? You've got your house, right? And if your business owns your house, right, it's a tax write-off because it's a beneficiary that can be passed to other people in the event of your death. It's something that you can leave behind that's a tangible asset that if you structure it the right way, boom, you have everything you need to pass a legacy on to people. Businesses become legacies. If businesses want to change, people need to figure out how to adapt to the business changes and integrate what they're doing into what they want to change the business to be, so that down the road, if they're not in business A anymore, that doesn't mean business A was bad. It just means that if we need to have things from business A, and then we have to put them in business B, and then we end up with business C, D, E, G, what the fuck ever alphabet soup you want at the end, right? Great. Let's work with those too. And so on and so on and so on and so on. Endless. Just as the worlds are endless. If we can figure out these maths and the mechanics and all of the structure, that's why it's fun. The adventure.